The golden haze of a late summer evening settled over Ridgeview Estates, a gated community where every hedge was sculpted and every ego oversized. I'm Hank, a 52-year-old retired Army engineer who'd moved here for the quiet and a big garage to house my pride and joy, a decommissioned M113 armored personnel carrier, fully restored and street legal, a beast of Cold War steel I'd bought at auction for parades and charity events. My ranch-style home sat on a half-acre lot, perfect for my tank's occasional outings. But Karen, the HOA president with a superiority complex as loud as her neon green Lamborghini, decided to park her car in my driveway and learned the hard way what 13 tons of armor can do. It started with a passive-aggressive email, Karen's preferred weapon. Hank, your military vehicle violates HOA Regulation 14B. No unsightly machinery permitted, she wrote, signing off with her title in all caps. Unsightly? My M113 was a polished relic, parked in my garage, only rolled out for events with county permits. I replied, citing my lot's zoning variance for hobby vehicles and the tank's legal registration. Karen's response? We'll see about that. I ignored her, assuming she'd move on. Wrong. Friday evening, I was prepping for a veterans charity parade the next day, checking the M113's tracks in my garage. My phone pinged, a security camera alert. Karen's Lamborghini Aventador was parked across my driveway, blocking the gate, its gull-wing doors open like a taunt. She leaned against it, snapping selfies, her designer sunglasses glinting. A note on the windshield read, "Move your tank, or I'll have it towed. Karen, HOA president." I stepped outside, jaw clenched. Karen, get your car off my property. I need to get my tank out for a parade tomorrow. She smirked, twirling her keys. This is an HOA intervention. Your tank's a blight, and I'm making a point. My Lambo stays until you agree to remove that monstrosity. You're trespassing, I said, pointing to my cameras. Move it or I'll move it for you. She laughed, climbing into her car. Try it, old man. I'll call the cops. She revved the engine, staying put. I'd had enough. The M113 was fueled up, ready for the parade. I'd driven it over rougher terrain than a suburban driveway. Karen's Lambo was no match. I fired up the tank, its 265 horsepower diesel roaring to life. Neighbors peeked out as I rolled it out of the garage, tracks grinding. Karen's eyes widened, but she didn't budge, screaming into her phone. 911. He's threatening me with a tank at 319, Ridgeview Lane. I didn't touch her car yet. I maneuvered the M113 to the edge of my driveway, its 13-ton bulk looming over the Lamborghini. Last chance, Karen, I called over the engine's rumble. She flipped me off, still on with 911. Fine. I eased the tank forward, aligning its tracks with her car's hood. The M113's weight crunched the front bumper like tinfoil, crumpling the hood and shattering a headlight. Karen shrieked, dropping her phone as the tank's tracks ground the Lambo's front end into my driveway's gravel. I stopped short of total destruction, reversing the tank back into the garage. The damage was clear. Her $400,000 car was a mangled mess, but I'd made my point. Two sheriff's deputies, Officers Brooks and Nguyen, arrived minutes later, lights flashing. Karen was hysterical, pointing at the wreckage. He crushed my car with a tank. Arrest him for vandalism. Brooks, a former Marine who recognized the M113, raised an eyebrow. Sir, care to explain? She blocked my driveway, trespassing on my property, I said, showing the camera footage in her note. I warned her to move. My tank's registered and permitted for this lot. I was protecting my property. Nguyen reviewed the video, which showed Karen parking deliberately and ignoring my warnings. Brooks inspected the M113's permits, nodding. Ma'am, you parked on private property and refused to move. That's trespassing. He's within his rights to remove obstructions, though. He glanced at the mangled Lambo, maybe not that creatively. Karen sputtered. That's my Lamborghini. He owes me a new one. Take it up with your insurance, Wynn said. And don't call 911 for civil disputes. That's a warning. They left, advising me to avoid further tank solutions. Karen tried to rally the HOA, slapping me with a $500 fine for property damage and unapproved machinery. I hired my buddy Vince, a lawyer with a knack for shutting down HOAs, who dug into the bylaws. My lot's variance and the tank's legal status were ironclad. At the next meeting, I showed the board my footage, permits, and a letter from the veterans group praising my parade work. Neighbors, sick of Karen's reign, she'd once fined a kid for a basketball hoop, cheered when Vince pointed out her trespassing and abuse of power. The board voted 7-2 to void the fine and oust Karen as president. Her insurance claimed negligent parking and lowballed her payout, leaving her fuming. She listed her house for sale, and last I heard, she's driving a rental sedan. My M13 still rolls out for charity events, and Ridgeview Estates is quieter now. I added a beware of tank sign to my gate just for laughs, and my driveway's never been blocked since.